So this is the end of the long portage that we just finished, and then if you look over here, you'll see the next portage.
You're freaking kidding me?
That's it.
You serious?
I hope we don't get lost paddling across to the next portage.
The next one is like another kilometer and a half.
Yeah.
So we just, what are you going to walk across? We're going to walk or paddle across? You're going to throw me across.
Well, I quit, so you're on your own from here.
Just swallowed a bug. Sorry. That's disgusting. I just swallowed a bug. I think it was a deer fly. Woo!
So this is the one that Andy caught.
I didn't catch any.
It's the one I caught. It can't fit the pan. What are we going to do? Duckle trout caught on the Crow River. Camped out in Lake Lavieille. And this is where Bill Swift Sr., this was his favorite campsite. And we're supposed to cheer him at the campsite, his favorite campsite in Lake Lavieille. And here, cheers to you, Mr. Bill Swift Sr. Rest in peace.
One thing my dad, I just got a praise him for. He just taught me the passion of not only Algonquin, but canoe tripping. Just getting out there and enjoying. You know, the park is a wonderful, special place.
Bill Swift Sr. had several nicknames. Many people knew him as Swifty. Within Algonquin Outfitters, he was often called Mean Dude or Meanest. And that relates to a story from the Pine Grove Tavern days that I'm not sure I could repeat on camera, but we all just called him Meanest. He was grumpy on the exterior, but heart of gold.
Swifty starts to become connected in all these intimate ways to certain places in the park, to Brent and Cedar Lake, to Opeongo, to Source Lake, starts the Outfitters at Oxtongue Lake, and the Meanest Link is born years later in remembrance of these special places for him.
Chose a great campsite, by the way. It's absolutely stunning. Beautiful lake. And I got brook trout for supper.
This is kind of good. I remember earlier in the trip, I was thinking, wouldn't it be great just to be paddling down a big long lake instead of this windy upriver, downriver portage stuff? And here I am, finally getting my wish. And Mr. Wind is cooperating. It's gentle and even a little bit out of the rear, so we are in good shape.
2 lakes with a 90-meter portage in between, Lavieille and Dickson. That's it. Get a paddle down. Mr. Baxter's really happy.
My favorite place in Algonquin. That's probably the hardest question you've asked, Kevin.
There's lots of places that could be favorites.
I really like going down the Petawawa River. I've done that a few times, and that's a really spectacular part of the park.
I like Big Porcupine because the water is just fantastic.
I think my favorite lake in the park is probably Happy Isle. I like Happy Isle a lot for different experiences, you know, a lot of cool experiences that I've had there, so yeah.
In the 60s, when the railway was still running, I used to really like hearing the train come up the valley. So we'd be camped at Cedar or Kiosk or somewhere in between, and you could hear the train coming half an hour before it actually showed up.
The Crow River, it's kind of spooky, and if you're there at dusk, it's kind of a creepy experience. I don't know why.
My favorite lake is actually Lake Coochie, which is really small, but on one of our trips we had like a mishap happen there, and it's just a really funny memory that I associate with that lake. So I really like it.
A lot of my favorite places have to do with who I'm with where. So on a given trip, you fall in love with some random lake like Head Lake or Louisa or McIntosh, just because you're having a ball with whoever you're with out there.
My favorite part of the park is the lakes northwest of Opeongo. Getting up through Happy Isle, Merchant, Big Trout, and Burt Root. Those ones are my favorites.
Grew up on Source Lake. My dad used to run a boys canoe tripping camp called Camp Pathfinder. And every night, I used to go to bed at night hearing the wolves howl. It was it was, again, magical.
I really like Tanamacoon Lake because it has our camp, which is the best camp.
Ooh, I'm really biased to Cedar Lake. I spent a lot of time up there growing up. I worked there for 2 years, and just getting to know the backcountry up there, like the back of my hand, was a really unique experience. So
I don't know if we have one yet. We'll tell you in a couple of years.
I probably have not yet found my favorite place in the park. Even though I've seen lots of the backcountry, I've seen the Highway 60 area, I've seen the north and the east and the south. You know what, I'll have to reserve a decision on that one.
Well, we're at the next Portage, but there's a little problem. I thought you said it was 530 meters long, but I think you dropped a 0. Hey, wait a minute, isn't it your turn to carry the canoe?
So I'm on the Dickson Bonfield Portage. It's over 5 kilometers long, and I'm getting near the end. I just got thinking today, why would I do this? I mean, today in total we'll probably go about 9 kilometers on portaging. That's just kind of ludicrous, actually. And man, I was stressed before this trip. Big time. Got out of shape, gained weight, didn't like talking to anybody. I think this is better and maybe even cheaper than talking to someone about it. Psychology out in the wilderness, eh? I feel much better about stuff. It's the end, the Dickson Bonfield Portage. Woo! You did it!
I forgot my water bottle at the other end. Can you get it for me, Kevin?
We had a choice between either paddling all day across Opeongo, which is fine, done it before, or to get a boat taxi. Now, I guess it's not traditional to do this Venus Link or whatever we're doing to take a boat taxi. Who cares about tradition?
And we might even cheat again.
That could be our slogan on the t-shirt.
Cheaters are us.
That was very short.
So yeah, we ended up getting our resupply box at Algonquin Outfitters, which is really handy. He just boated up to the dock, and staff in there are great, actually. They're really nice people. So they gave us a box, and we got resupplied for our next and last bit of our journey. It's our last bit of journey.
Oh.
What do we got? We got more gorp. And we got more coffee, which is really good. Mr. Baxter was getting a little worried about his coffee. More dried meat. Woo! Our cheese was moldy, so we couldn't use that. Here we go. What are we having? Single, no, it's not single malt. It's blended black grouse whiskey. Really good stuff. And some really neat vodka. We don't know what it is, but it's really tasty. This is a Parmesan cheese with some salsa sauce and some noodles, and actually some eggplant and zucchini. This is really good. We got a curry meal. This is really going to be good. We refueled for fuel. We needed a lot more fuel. We can't have fires because it's so buggy. I think we have had 2 campfires in this entire trip. This is day 12. Here's the thing. We allocated 20 days to the loop. Andy had 16 days off for work, and I was going to do the last bit solo. We're a couple of days ahead, so now he's looking at the map, and we're thinking we could probably do this in 16 days. I'd rather actually do it with Andy and I finishing at Huntsville than the other, and I think we can do that. So that's the plan. These are thermorests. These are the ones you blow up. Disadvantage is every night we're like, So you brought your camp chair on this trip, did you?
I always bring a camp chair. Why, you want to borrow it?
No, I brought my own, just to use.
That'll be the first.
Whoa! Are you ready to go camping? What are you doing, Andy?
I'm adding up all the portaging someone made me do today.
just to let you know that this was not like this when we started. Boy, look at the scratches. It's brutal. GORP stands for Good Old Raisins and Peanuts. Watch it. On live TV once, I actually did not say peanuts.